Before that, we had our co-main, our upgraded co-main, your boy, who I was looking forward to too since his last fight, August 1st, against, I think, he fought Randy Brown. Vicente Luque against Tyron Woodley. Probably the last time we see Tyron Woodley in the UFC, I would assume. And again, they asked Dana about him after, and his answer pretty much alluded to like he should call it. But I will give Woodley credit. It was a short fight, but he looked way better than any of his prior fights, like at the last couple fights he had. And I remember you texted me after, you're like, dude, I thought for a second he had Luque, and I did too. I was like, holy crap, where did this guy come from? Where's this Woodley been?
Man?
Yeah, immediately. He just bum rushes him, grabs him, and I felt like Luque was kind of caught off guard too with it being kind of that quick.
Absolutely was. Yeah. Well, I mean, because we're all of us watching, we're caught off guard. I can't imagine having somebody like Tyron Woodley charge at you like that is not going to take you off guard. You know what I mean? So, for me, what was going through my head was, okay, well, what's going on here? Is he thinking like I need to end this right now? Because my impression would be that if it went any longer than that, Luque would clearly have the upper hand. Let's say going into the second or the third, and then. What I found most interesting is how Tyron really got Luque bad. He kind of staggered him. He looked really wobbly on his feet. And then like in the midst of all that, Luque managed to wobble Tyron. And then they're both wobbling back and forth, you know, and it looked kind of sloppy at points where I'm like, what is even happening right now? They're just kind of, you know, I got to finish this. And that's pretty much what ended up happening. I didn't feel like we got to see much of the technique that both those guys have. We just kind of saw we're both hurt. We both need to finish this ASAP. And, you know, that's what ended up happening.
When Luque rocked Woodley, dude, I was yelling at my screen. I was like, dude, end him. Because he was still he was holding back. I was like, oh, why are you looking at him?
Dude, he couldn't. He had no balance. Like I was paying really close attention to Luque because I was thinking the exact same thing, and he was wobbling. Like he had no balance, dude. So it was kind of like I'm wondering if he saw two Woodleys in his vision. You know what I mean? So, because I thought the exact same thing as you, and I don't think it was because he was scared or hesitant. I literally think maybe he was just completely thrown off balance by that.
Maybe, but if you were to tell me the way this fight was going to be decided was by a Darce. I'd like to see what the line on that would have been.
Plus 800. Plus 800
to be a submission.
I think that's what I saw. Yeah, it was plus 800.
I mean, yeah, that's not a surprise at all. Neither. Granted, Woodley has the wrestling background, but I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking maybe either decision or someone gets knocked out, not a submission, and those odds indicate that too. They were showing that Luque had, I think Gilbert Burns was in his corner, and if he wasn't in his corner, Gilbert Burns was at the room with him. Like he came from Florida, and they were working on the ground game, which would be important. You know, had Woodley tried to, and there was one attempt by Woodley to take him down, and he stifled him, so he looked good, and then Woodley didn't really pursue it much after that. Interesting call out at the end by Luque, asking for either a top 5 guy or, if not a top 5 guy, Nate Diaz. I don't think, like, dude, that'd be fun as hell. Like, in terms of a watch, I'm all for it. That'd be fun to watch. In terms of for him, like the upside, I don't see it. I don't see an upside in fighting Nate Diaz for him. In terms of standing, financially, I'm not talking about any of that. In terms of your actual standing in the division, all right, you beat Nate Diaz. Nate hasn't fought since late 2019. He's already getting older. You beat him, like I don't even know, what is Nate even ranked at? I think he's probably going to be ranked higher than Nate at this point.
Maybe Luque, like his nickname is suggesting, is just the guy that Dana's been using to make people retire. You know, like he's Dana's in his ear, like, hey, call out people that I need to get out. Just anybody that I'm like, you got to go. I'm going to send you after them.
Where is Nate Diaz not even ranked anymore? I don't see him on here. I don't know, but yeah. So he says like the only person that I would be willing to fight outside the top 5 would be Nate Diaz, because he's saying stylistically, I think it'd be fun, and sure as hell would be fun. But you're in a position where I think you do have a legitimate chance somewhere not too far down the future to legitimately contend.
Mm-hmm.
Not right now. I don't know how you'd handle Usman, for example, if that was the next fight you got, but I don't think he's that far away. He's already, like, a couple of his losses came against Leon Edwards and Stephen Thompson, which we also said, like, I'd be happy to run it back with them, avenge a loss. That'd be interesting to see. This is, again, not the Luque's had some time since then. He's fought more. I'd like to see him, against one of those two would be cool. Or maybe, I don't know, I'm looking up. So he is number 10. He beat number 7. He's going to go past. He'll probably get to 7. I think they'll probably swap places. I don't know if he'll crack the top 5. Probably not. But then you have Chiesa at 6. You have Wonderboy at 5. Masvidal's already fighting Usman. Then you have Leon Edwards at 3. I don't think he fights Gilbert Burns. That'd be interesting to see, though. And then you have Colby, and Colby's not really fighting anyone right now. Colby's just fighting himself. So I don't know. Interesting to see what comes next for Luque. If they want to make that Nate Diaz. I don't know if Nate even wants that fight. Nate's like calling out the top guys in the division. Like, dude, you gotta put away the blunt. I think you're too baked to understand what you're saying, man. I love watching Nate fight. It's fun as hell. Like, if that fight got booked, I'm not going to complain about it. But in terms of on Luque's side, it's just there's not as much upside. Like, again, you beat him it's the same way like you beat Woodley. You beat a guy on the way down while you're trying to go up. Nate Diaz, again, is kind of going down at this point because he hasn't fought in a while. He's been inactive. He's old. Like, if this was like a younger Nate Diaz you beat, sure. But this version, again, it's like 2 back-to-back kind of guys that are washed or towards that on their way out possibly. And when you're trying to go up and you're again, possible. I just don't see it, but who knows? We'll see. Well, I don't know. What do you think? That doesn't make as much of a sense for me.
Maybe his logic is like, because these guys were already out the door. Let's be 100% about that. But Woodley was a champion at one point, so
at one point, yeah,
at one point. So beating him, I think mentally is a huge sort of stepping stone, even though divisionally it might not mean all that much, and as far as like trying to get to that top 5, it might not mean all that much considering how far Woodley's dropped. But like your mental state, like, I just beat an ex-champion, now who do I go after? Okay, well, maybe he's thinking I go after Diaz because maybe, I don't know, maybe it's another mental thing for him because, like you were saying,
I could see that being the case. I
don't see like your benefit if you're looking just at raw numbers, and if you're looking at the rankings and stuff, I don't see the benefit either. But we know that that's not 100% of what the sport is about. A lot of this stuff is mental. You lose once, that could screw you for however long. You win once or twice, like that can put you on a.
I think Woodley's a good example of that. That's 4 straight losses in a row. But prior to this fight, look at him after he lost to Usman, he fought Gilbert Burns, and then he fought Colby. This guy's like a shell. He's a shell of who he was. It was bizarre watching him. It's like, why'd you even show up? Just walk into the thing, throw a white flag, and walk out. Like, didn't even perform. So for something, at least he got a little bit of an ignition this time. Again, because he came out, he threw some stuff. He didn't just stand there for 15 minutes. So I don't think Woodley necessarily needs to retire from fighting, but from the UFC, I don't think he's in that competition anymore. Unless you like throw him against some of the older dogs that are also in that same position, then yeah, maybe you could make it work like that. But I don't know who really cares to see it. Does Bellator scoop him up? Does he want to keep fighting? Is he going to go back to rapping? Hopefully not, but I don't know. I don't know what's next for him because I was thinking, he should stop after this, but again, it was a small sample size, but it looked like he still has something left. I just don't think that what is left is enough for the cream of the crop in this division. Maybe again, you want to give him like an up and comer again, but it's like, I don't know. I don't think there's any point. And Dana said it after the Colby fight, he should consider retiring. After this one too, he's like, what is that? 4 straight losses for him. He's 39. Like, come on.
Yeah,
that was pretty much his reaction.
I think it's one of those things too, where like look at how he got hit, and look at how that affected him.
You make sliding around, man.
Yeah, like dude, could you move to a different promotion and fight? Yeah, you could. Should you? For your physical health, I don't know if that's wise. You know what I mean? Like every time you get hit like that, man, it's shaving however much time off your freaking lifespan, dude. Like. I don't know if it's a wise thing to do as a human being to keep fighting if you're getting that wobbly.
I mean, in general, once you start getting up to that age, that's why Dana says it too. He's like, man, like once these guys start getting up there, like shouldn't be getting hit in the head.
No.
And Woodley's been getting beat up the last few fights again. It's not like he's 39 and he's getting in there quick. He goes, knocks someone out, and he's out. He's not taking damage. No, got his ass kicked for 4 straight fights in a row. This was the one, at least this one was a quicker one. Colby, I think, was round 5 stoppage. Burns, he went 3 rounds. It was 3 rounds, I think, Burns, or was that a main event too? Either way, it went the distance, got his ass kicked, and then got his ass kicked by Usman. So I think it's enough ass kicking for him. Just whatever. So props to Luque. Curious to see what's next for him, and I hope we see him a bit quicker than we did this last time around. Last time we saw him was beginning of August, almost 8 months pretty much. This was end of March, this card.
I think there's enough time to get another fight. Yeah,
at least one. I maybe August again this time, but
does Leon have somebody lined up? Not as of yet, huh? Because this will probably move Luque up. And then Leon, if he's still looking for, because you did mention that earlier, if he's still looking for a contender, considering that he was willing to fight Bilal,
that's the thing though with Leon is, look, man, I already considered fighting Leon. Well, he had 2 guys well below him he was willing to fight. He was first going to fight Hamza, right, who was 15, and then he dropped, and then he fought Bilal, who was 13 or 14. He's like, we heard him, he's like, either title shot or give me like Colby, which I think is fair to say for him. Like, I don't like, if you go to Leon, you're like, look, man, how about the numbers? I'm assuming Luque will maybe go to 7. I don't know. How about the number 7 guys? Like, dude, really? Like, you guys took me from 15 to 13 to 7. Like, he doesn't have that much leverage given his inactivity. And then like his last activity was such a quick one and just took a guy's eye out. Again, messy. But I mean, they got to get Colby off his ass, man. He's got to stop doing this. This bullshit, dicking around that he's doing is dumb. It's getting annoying. It should be Leon versus Colby, winner of that. Let him face the winner of Usman and Masvidal.
It's gonna be Usman.
Let's get this division going, man. Like this stupid gridlock in the top 5 is dumb, man. This division has a bunch of really entertaining fighters, and for it to be this stupid merry-go-round in the top 5 is dumb. Like, you can't get rid of them, but do something. Get them moving. And I don't know how much Colby's trying to get, or if he's just being annoying, or if he's legitimately scared to fight Leon. If he is, I don't know why he would be, but get him off his ass, dude. Like, stop posting stupid pictures with some girl and then saying some dumb stuff, how you're balls deep in her when she's got a boyfriend. Like, you're just stirring up a bunch of dumb shit at this point. Like, let's get your ass in the ring and then take care of Leon. Then go back to resume to your Bang Energy drink, your Bang Energy advertisements and whatever other stuff. Like, you beat Woodley last. Like, you kicked his ass for about 4.5 rounds or so, but it was Woodley, like a downward Woodley. It's not like you beat like a spry guy or a really tough opponent. And then prior to that, you got knocked out by Usman. So you're also not in that great a position either to be all high and mighty. Like, come on. And Trump lost, so it's like things are kind of working against you.
I agree 100%. But he needs to move his butt, dude. It's like enough is getting enough at this point.
Yeah,
I would like to see an Edwards versus Covington fight. I mean, considering we're not going to see Covington v Usman anytime soon, so we may as well see Leon and Colby.